Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Podcast English Class.
Hi, friends. We're so glad you decided to spend a few minutes learning with us today.
Jessica, let me ask you something. When was the last time you went shopping for clothes?
Just a few days ago, actually.
And how did you feel? Confident or overwhelmed?
Honestly, a little overwhelmed. I wanted to ask for a different size, but I hesitated for a second.
I know that feeling. Sometimes it's not the shopping that's hard. It's speaking.
So here's our question for you. Think about your last shopping trip. One word only. How did you feel?
Nervous? Excited? Stressed? Confused?
Write one word in the comments right now.
And stay with us because by the end, we'll help you replace that feeling with confidence.
Today, we're going to practice the exact phrases you need, step by step, so you don't freeze the next time someone says, "Can I help you?"
Let's begin. So, Jessica, let's begin with the very first moment. You walk into a clothing store. What usually happens?
Almost immediately, someone smiles and asks if you need help. And that small question can feel much bigger than it really is.
Yeah, it's interesting how such a simple sentence can suddenly make your brain freeze.
I think it's because we feel pressure to respond quickly and correctly.
I remember one time I walked into a store looking for running shoes, and when the employee greeted me, I knew exactly what I wanted, but I still hesitated.
What did you say?
I just smiled and said I was fine, even though I wasn't. Then I walked around pretending to compare colors for 10 minutes.
That's such a human reaction. Sometimes avoiding feels easier than speaking.
But avoiding also keeps that nervous feeling alive.
Exactly. The truth is, that first reply doesn't need to be long or complicated.
So what's the easiest way to handle it?
If you know what you want, you can simply say you're looking for something specific, clear and short.
And if you're not sure yet?
Then you can politely say you're just browsing. That gives you space while still sounding confident.
I like that idea. It's not about perfect English, it's about participating.
Yes, and when you answer calmly, your body relaxes. Your voice becomes more natural.
So the first goal isn't to have a long conversation. It's just to survive the first sentence.
I wouldn't even say survive. I'd say succeed. One sentence is already success.
That changes the perspective.
Shopping conversations are predictable, follow familiar rhythms. The greetings are similar everywhere. Once you practice one response, you can use it again and again.
So if someone wrote nervous earlier in the comments, this is where the shift begins.
Yes, the next time you walk into a store and hear that greeting, you won't feel surprised.
You'll be prepared.
And preparation replaces fear.
I love that.
One calm sentence, one clear answer. That's how confidence starts growing.
So now that we've survived the first greeting, what comes next?
The next step is actually speaking up and asking for help when you need something.
That's the part that still makes many people nervous.
Yes, because it feels like you're interrupting someone, even though helping customers is literally their job.
I once spent 15 minutes searching for my size on a shelf because I didn't want to ask.
And did you find it?
Number one, I left the store and checked online later.
That's such a common experience. We avoid a 10-second question and lose 20 minutes instead.
So what's the easiest way to begin?
Start with a polite opener. Just 2 simple words to get attention respectfully.
That small phrase changes everything. It makes the conversation feel safe.
Exactly. Then you ask your question clearly. Maybe you need another size. Maybe you want a different color. Keep it direct.
I think people imagine they need complicated grammar.
They don't. Short questions work perfectly in a store. Clarity matters more than complexity.
And what if the employee goes to check and comes back with bad news?
That's normal too. Sometimes the item isn't available. It doesn't mean you said anything wrong.
So rejection in the shop isn't personal.
Not at all. It's just information.
I like that mindset. It removes emotional pressure.
Yes, and here's something important. Every time you ask a question, you build momentum.
Even if the answer isn't what you hoped for?
Especially then, because you practiced.
That's true. The goal is not always to get the item. The goal is to use English in a real situation.
And once you realize store conversations follow patterns, they stop feeling unpredictable.
So if your word earlier was overwhelmed, this is the step that changes it.
You replace silence with one short question.
One brave moment.
Yes, and after you ask once, asking again feels easier.
Confidence doesn't appear suddenly.
It grows each time you choose to speak instead of stay quiet.
So you asked your question, the employee helped you, and now you finally have the item in your hands. What's next?
Before you buy it, you need to try it on. That's where the real decision happens.
I used to skip that step sometimes because I didn't want the extra effort.
And how did that work out?
Not very well. I once bought a sweater without trying it on, and when I wore it to dinner, the sleeves covered half my hands.
That's the fitting room lesson right there. It protects you from regret.
So how do we enter this important stage confidently?
First, you politely ask where you can try the item. Stores usually have a small private space for that.
And that question is simple and short.
Exactly. Once inside, you close the door, look in the mirror, and really observe.
That mirror moment can be honest.
Very honest. Sometimes you think something looks amazing on the hanger, but different on your body.
That's when vocabulary becomes powerful.
Yes, instead of just saying, it's bad, you can describe what feels wrong. Maybe it's too tight around your shoulders. Maybe the length feels too short.
Or maybe it's too loose and doesn't sit well.
Right. Being specific helps you understand your own preference.
I like that idea. It's not just about the store, it's about expressing comfort. Then that's a wonderful moment.
You can clearly say it fits well and you like it. That positive clarity feels empowering.
I think trying something on is also emotional. You imagine wearing it somewhere important.
Yes, and that imagination helps you decide.
So the fitting room isn't just a small space,
It's a decision space.
and a language practice space.
Absolutely, because whether it works or not, you are learning to describe your experience.
And that's how you slowly replace that earlier nervous feeling.
One question, one try, one honest opinion. That's progress.
So you're standing in the fitting room, looking in the mirror, and now comes the real question. What do you think?
Yes, this is the moment where you need to express your opinion clearly.
I used to just say, it's okay, even when it wasn't.
That's interesting. Why?
I think I didn't know how to describe what felt wrong, so I chose a safe word.
That happens a lot. When vocabulary is limited, our opinion becomes limited too.
Exactly. But clothes are personal. Okay is not enough.
Right. You can notice details. Maybe the shoulders feel tight. Maybe the waist feels loose.
Or maybe the color doesn't feel right for you.
Yes, instead of saying bad, you can say, it doesn't suit you.
That's such a useful phrase. It's honest, but still polite.
And if something looks great, say that clearly too.
I once tried on a jacket and almost put it back because I wasn't sure. Then a friend said it really suited me.
And did you buy it?
I did, and I wore it for years.
That's the power of expressing opinion. It builds confidence in decisions.
So learning these phrases is not just about shopping.
No, it's about describing your experience. Tight, loose, long, short, wide, narrow. These words give you precision.
Precision feels strong.
It does. When you speak specifically, you sound more confident.
And you feel more confident too.
Exactly, because you're not hiding behind vague words anymore.
I like that. It's almost like upgrading your emotional vocabulary.
That's a beautiful way to say it.
So if earlier your word was confused, maybe that confusion came from not knowing how to describe what you felt.
And now you have more tools.
More language, more clarity.
And clarity always reduces hesitation.
So next time you look in the mirror, don't just think.
Speak it. Describe it. Own your opinion.
Because confidence grows when your words match your feelings. So you've decided you like the item. It fits well, it suits you, and now comes the next important moment.
Yes, the price.
I think this is where emotions change quickly.
Very quickly. You can feel confident one second and surprised the next.
I remember finding a coat that felt perfect. I looked at the price tag and suddenly my confidence disappeared.
What did you do?
I stood there pretending to think deeply, but really I was calculating my bank balance in my head.
That's very relatable. Talking about money can feel uncomfortable, especially in another language.
Yes, it feels direct.
But asking about price is completely normal. It's part of shopping.
So the key is to ask calmly.
Exactly. You can simply ask how much it costs if you're unsure. Clear and polite.
And what if it feels expensive?
Then you can check if there's a discount. Sometimes stores reduce prices during special promotions.
I love finding something that costs less than expected.
Everyone does. And learning how to ask about sales gives you control.
I think the fear comes from sounding rude.
But asking about price isn't rude. It's practical.
That's a good reminder, because then you're choosing wisely, not guessing.
Exactly. And even if the item is not discounted, you practiced another real-life question.
So again, the goal isn't just saving money.
It's using English in a real situation.
I like how each step builds on the previous one. First greeting, then asking for help, then describing fit, now talking about price.
It's like climbing small stairs.
And every stair replaces that earlier nervous feeling.
Yes, because when you can calmly ask about price, you realize you're in control of the conversation.
And that control feels empowering.
Very empowering. One clear question at a time.
So you've checked the price, made your decision, and now you're ready for the final step.
Yes, it's time to go to the counter and pay.
I think this moment feels official.
It does. Once you walk to the counter, you're saying, I've decided.
And sometimes that decision feels exciting.
Sometimes a little scary, too.
I remember the first time I paid for something in English abroad. My hands were slightly shaking when I gave my card. Yes, not because of the money, but because I was afraid I wouldn't understand what the cashier said.
That's such an honest feeling.
But the conversation at the counter is usually simple, right?
Very simple. The cashier might ask if you found everything you needed. You answer politely.
And then you choose how to pay.
Exactly. You can mention your payment method clearly. That's all.
So again, short sentences win.
Always. Stores are not places for long speeches.
I like that.
After you pay, you receive something very important.
The receipt.
Yes, that small piece of paper feels insignificant, but it protects you later.
I once threw away a receipt without thinking, and 2 days later I realized the shirt had a small problem.
Oh no.
I couldn't return it easily because I had no proof. That was my lesson.
So keeping the receipt is not just practical, it's smart.
And even this step is language practice.
Yes, because you might need to understand short instructions while paying.
Like where to insert your card or when to sign.
Exactly.
It's interesting how something so routine can feel intimidating in another language.
But once you do it once or twice, it becomes automatic.
So if earlier your word was stressed, this stage helps calm that feeling.
Because you realize the process is predictable.
Predictable feels safe.
And safe feelings build confidence.
One transaction at a time. So you paid, you went home, and at first everything felt fine. But sometimes something changes.
Yes, sometimes when you try the item again at home, it doesn't feel the same.
I've experienced that. I once bought a shirt that looked great in the store mirror, but at home it felt completely different.
What changed?
I think the lighting in the store made the color look better. At home, it felt too bright for me.
That's such a common situation. And this is where many learners feel nervous again.
Because returning something means explaining yourself.
Exactly. You have to speak clearly and calmly.
I used to avoid returning things just because I didn't want the conversation.
Really?
Yes, I kept items I didn't love because I didn't feel confident enough to explain why.
That's more expensive in the long run.
Very true. So, what's the healthy mindset here?
First, remember that returning or exchanging is normal. Stores expect it. You are not causing a problem.
That already reduces pressure.
Then you simply state your intention politely. You don't need a long story.
Just a clear reason.
Yes, maybe it doesn't fit the way you expected. maybe it's not your style. Keep it simple.
And if you don't want your money back?
Then you can ask to exchange it for a different size or color.
So again, short and direct.
Always. Confidence comes from clarity, not from long explanations.
I like that.
And here's something important. Returning an item is not failure. Changing your mind is part of smart decision-making.
That changes the perspective completely.
Yes, you are choosing what works for you.
So if your word at the beginning was nervous, maybe this is the moment to challenge that feeling.
Next time something isn't right, don't stay silent.
Speak calmly.
Use one clear sentence.
And remember, every small real-life conversation builds your confidence.
Before we finish today, think about one phrase from this episode that you want to try this week.
Just one.
Practice it out loud tonight, even if you're alone.
Small practice today.
Stronger confidence tomorrow.
So we've talked about choosing, paying, and even returning. But there's another detail many people forget.
Yes, the material of the clothes and how to take care of them.
I didn't think that was important when I was younger.
What changed?
I once bought a sweater that looked soft and warm. I washed it the wrong way and it became 2 sizes smaller.
Oh no, that's a painful lesson.
Very painful. After that, I started paying attention to what things are made of.
And that's smart. Knowing the material helps you decide if something is comfortable and practical.
So if you're unsure, you can simply ask what the item is made from.
Exactly. You can also touch the fabric and describe how it feels. Soft, thick, light, heavy.
I like that shopping is not just about color and size,
Yes, it's about comfort and daily life too.
especially when it comes to washing.
Definitely. Some clothes are easy to clean. Others need special care.
I prefer items that are simple to wash.
Many people do. That's why it's helpful to ask whether something can go into a washing machine.
Because no one wants extra stress after buying something nice.
Exactly. And asking about care instructions shows you are thinking long-term.
It also makes you feel more in control.
Yes, instead of guessing, you're making informed choices.
I think this part is interesting because it connects English to everyday routines.
That's true. Laundry, ironing, storage, these are real-life situations.
And when you can talk about them in English, your vocabulary becomes more practical.
Practical language builds confidence faster than memorizing random words.
So next time you shop, don't just look at the style.
Think about the material and how you will care for it.
And if you're unsure, ask.
One simple question can save you from future regret.
Just like your sweater story.
Exactly like that.
So shopping becomes more thoughtful.
And your English becomes more natural because you're using it for real decisions.
We've talked about actions and emotions, but I think there's one more layer that makes shopping easier.
Yes, understanding the words used inside a store.
Because sometimes the situation isn't scary. The vocabulary is.
Exactly. If you don't understand certain store terms, you feel lost, even when the conversation is simple.
I remember hearing a word at the payment area once and pretending I understood it.
What happened?
I nodded confidently and then stood in the wrong place for 5 minutes.
That's such a real moment.
I realized later that I didn't understand the name of the payment counter.
That's why learning store roles and areas is helpful.
Like knowing the difference between the person helping you on the floor and the person handling payment.
Yes, each role has a clear function. Once you recognize it, the environment feels structured.
And structure feels safe.
Exactly. There's also a difference between casually looking around and actively searching for something specific.
That's true. When you're casually exploring, your body language is relaxed.
But when you're searching for something particular, your questions become focused.
I think understanding that difference helps you express your intention clearly.
Yes, instead of feeling unsure, you can explain what you're doing.
And when you know the names of areas in a store, like the payment section or the private space for trying clothes, you feel less confused.
Vocabulary gives shape to your experience.
That's a powerful sentence. And organized spaces reduce anxiety.
Exactly. Suddenly, you're not just reacting. You understand what's happening around you.
So maybe earlier your word was confused.
And maybe that confusion came from missing vocabulary.
Now you're filling in those gaps.
Yes. One word at a time, the store becomes less intimidating.
And more familiar.
Familiar places build confident speakers.
So think back to the word you wrote at the beginning. Nervous, overwhelmed, confused.
That word doesn't have to describe your next shopping trip.
No, it doesn't.
Choose one phrase from today and say it out loud tonight.
Even if you're alone. Especially if you're alone.
Small practice feels simple, but it changes how you show up in real life.
And if you're serious about becoming more confident in everyday English, don't stop here.
Make this a habit, one real conversation at a time.
Subscribe to Podcast English Class and keep training your English in real-life situations with us every week.
We don't teach random vocabulary. We practice moments you actually face.
Because confidence doesn't come from watching once.
It comes from consistent exposure and repetition.
So take that next step.
Stay with us. Grow with us.
And next time you walk into a store, you won't feel frozen.
You'll feel ready.
Small courage today.
Stronger confidence tomorrow.
We'll see you in the next episode.